All right, hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are talking about low back pain and how you should sit. So, talking about office chairs, we're talking about chairs around the house, but mostly the office chairs, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm Dr. Kevin.
I'm Coach Sean.
We are the FitHealth pros. So today, let's talk about low back pain. So it's very common. 80% of Americans are going to suffer from back pain in their lifetime. So I always tell people it's not the if you're going to have low back pain, it's the when.
When.
So be prepared for that. And this is one of those great introductory type of things to help you prevent low back pain as well. In worldwide, it is the single leading cause. I'll say it again. Single leading cause of disabilities. So not a good thing. So low back pain is a big deal. It creeps up. It can become chronic. We're going to talk about some effective measures when you're sitting and to make this more comfortable. So welcome to today's talk, and let's start with some lists.
Lists of do's and don'ts. It's going to be list upon list upon list.
Yes.
So first thing we're going to talk about is never hunching forward. Now in today's age, with technological age, with so many computers and phones, etc., there's a tendency to hunch forward, to look into that screen and get intense and get lost in that screen. That hunching puts pressure on that lower back. Inversely, no slouching either.
No slouching.
So when you're doing this, again, that puts pressure directly onto the lower back.
Right.
One thing I found interesting when I was doing some research for this specific video, that a backrest angle of at least 100 degrees decreases spinal disc pressure by 20% over that proper posture of 90 degrees.
Right.
So, we've been trained over the years to sit up straight, typing class in high school, etc., probably keyboarding class now, aging ourselves a little bit there. It was always sit upright, to take the pressure off your shoulders and your neck as you're typing. Well, if you are at least 100 degrees, that's taking some of that spinal disc pressure off. Avoid crossing legs. Now this is a big one,
right?
Because especially if you have sciatic pain, because when you cross those legs, you're putting extra pressure directly on that sciatic nerve, and if you already have some inflammation going, could exacerbate it and make it even worse. Lastly, on my initial part of the list, both feet flat on the floor. So with those both feet flat on the floor or on a footrest, my wife actually ordered something from a major online retailer, being good about not saying names, where it's actually a padded footrest that she can put her feet on, and it also takes that pressure off lower back.
Right. So let's not confuse everybody, meaning that we're going to have them lean back a little bit and then put their legs way out, and then the feet have to be flat. We're talking about flat up against something. So,
at the angle with which you're sitting.
Right. And that can be at an angle, and we can show you what that looks like down the road as well.
Yep.
All right, the list continued. So I have some more. We'd like to have the knees at 90 degrees. So if you're sitting in the chair, have the knees at 90 degrees. If you're leaning back, you can kind of see what's happening here. As you lean back, we got to bring the thighs up a little bit. Now the lower leg's at a different angle, so you want to have something against the feet. So now we're talking, and we're dialing it in. This is going to be comfortable now. We're going to look for a neutral spine when you're sitting, and this is going to give us better circulation. So I kind of thought, how do we explain neutral spine? So think about if you're sitting in the chair in the middle, and if you're leaning forward, or if you're slouching, that's forward and back. If you're leaning to the side, you can see just those little amounts can change the pressure. So we want neutral, back in the center. If it even takes to put a little something behind the back, a lot of times just by putting a little pressure in that lumbar spine, that's going to get you so you don't go forward, backward, side to side. Yeah. So neutral spine's real good. If you're restless, which you probably will be at one time.
Will happen during the day.
Get up and walk around, move the bones, move the muscles. I tell everybody this anyway, at about 30-40 minutes you should be getting up, taking a break, taking an eye break, taking a hand break, taking a leg, and just get those
body break.
We want to organize the desk so there isn't overreaching, twisting. You know, I was talking to someone the other day and they were saying that they talk on the phone with their left ear, but the phone mount is way over to the right. So they're doing this kind of back and forth thing and it's causing issues. So, you know, to move that around, whatever you need, make it there kind of in your primary zone. All right, then the other thing is get a proper office chair to get to the things in the office more easily. All right, so right away, maybe wheels.
Yep.
Okay, some, you know, or
adjustability.
Yeah, adjustability, where it's close enough where you can have everything that you need. If you're printing, you don't want your printer on the other side of the room.
Right.
If you're reaching and bending like we were talking about before, don't want that. A lot of you, maybe at home, you're sitting in a kitchen chair, so it doesn't lean back, it doesn't move forward. So you can start seeing where this is really causing a lot of stress to the body if you don't have the proper setup and chair.
True.
Yep. The other thing is we want to support the arms, and that'll give you less stress. So it's going to less stress on the shoulders. You're not holding up your arm while you're doing the keyboard, typing things in. It's really gonna that's one of the best things from an ergonomic standpoint is changing those arm rests, and a lot of them will come in, a lot of them go forward and back. So if you can, the more you can dial it into your specific shape and body and arm length, how your computer keyboard's set up, that's even better. That's going to put less stress on everything, the spine, the neck, and the shoulders. And then it gives you some leverage for standing up as well. Now, you don't want to do a full press. We'll talk about that later. But it does at least allow you to take some pressure off the low back when you're standing. Bam! Da-da!
That was more list. Somebody say list? I got more list.
More.
So we're going to, just like Dr. Fox said, we're talking about lumbar support for that natural curvature of the spine. Now that can be a little pad in the back, or that can be your office chair itself in terms of its own adjustability.
Right.
So next is also another interesting part of this video. We're talking about alternate different neutral sitting positions throughout the day if you can.
Yeah.
Reclining gives you the lowest amount of spinal stress. Declining at the desk kind of shifts the weight to the thighs and you have less lower lumbar fatigue. Standing, greater circulation, less load on the lumbar spine. And again, we're changing this throughout the day, having the ability to have a standing desk and a great office chair and going back and forth can really help with efficiency and productivity within your day. Take you out of the little aches and pains that could become chronic later on. Right. Last but not least, which I think is kind of cool, this is one of the newer things out there. You see it with a lot of the e-gamers, supine chairs, where you're literally kind of brought up into a supine position and you have your screen here. So this actually puts the least pressure on the spinal discs.
Right.
I think you were talking a little bit about supine in the natural way that people with back pain will sleep in a recliner.
For sure, yeah. I mean, people will come to me and they say, you know, the best thing for me is to, you know, sleep on the couch or sleep in a recliner. So, you know, the body's kind of telling you that innately to get into that position where you're slightly leaned back. I mean, we're talking even more than the 100 degrees. We're going back here, but then the legs and the hips are at an angle, maybe a pillow under the knees.
Sure.
You can kind of envision those zero gravity chairs where you're starting from here and you're tilting back, and it just takes a lot of pressure off of everything.
Man, I want one.
Yeah, those are cool. All right, so guess what? We have 3 more things to talk about. This is the last of the list.
End of the list. Last of the list.
Now, you can use some heat or you can use some ice every once in a while. What that's going to do is going to promote healing. So if you have back pain already, that contrast provides blood supply to come to the area. That flushes out any toxins. That gives you back good nutrients for healing. Ice is great for inflammation. So if you're sore and you have pain when you stand up or you sit and it's achy, more than likely there's inflammation there and you want to use the ice first. In the morning, so when do you use heat? You can do the ice and then contrast that with heat as a back and forth. That's for inflammation and healing. But you can also use heat just kind of as a standalone. Sure. If you get up and things are cold, the heat feels real good. We have a lot of fascia, white tissue, ligaments, tendons in the low back, in the neck and the base of the shoulders. It's not just red muscle that has a lot of blood supply. There's white tissue there that may need warmed up, especially if you're sitting for a long period of time or you're just getting up in the morning and you want to get some flexibility going.
Yeah.
All right, so that's heat and ice. Again, armrest uses leverage. Use your legs primarily to get up, but you can use those armrests as well. Last thing, gentle stretching, do that. We were going back to taking the breaks. That's a great time to do some gentle stretching.
Definitely.
Even in the middle, because I talked about 30, 40 minutes, but 10 minutes, you can do a little stretch. You might be having a conference or communicating with someone, so while they're doing their part, you can do a little stretch for the wrists. You can do some shoulder rolls, some stretches on the neck. Get up, use the office chair as your base, and stretch the legs. So that's good. You can almost like a bar, right? You can use that. So that's the last of the list. Hope you liked it.
Boom. Yeah. That is lower back pain, how you should sit.
Yes.
By the FitHealth pros. We went over a big long list of everything that do's and don'ts, and hopefully this helped you a lot. If you really dug what you saw today, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, smash that, ring the bell so you get to know when we have more videos coming. We have them coming fast and furious.
Yes.
Every week we got something else coming at you. So I'm Coach Sean.
I'm Dr. Kevin.
And thanks for coming along for the ride. We love having you with us.
All right, see you guys.
I'd help you, but I'm on my mark.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
I'm ready too.
Sit.